friends have made videos that were mocking me. I did not appreciate that. But I did see as well, you were mocking me from being of average height. I can't control that. I can't control my genetics. That wasn't very, you were mocking me. I did not appreciate that.
Asking my followers if I should wear heels tonight, and I did not.
I never mocked on her appearance, and there's plenty of subject matter there, believe me, but I never did it. So I didn't appreciate.
Sometimes when you watch woke people yap on the internet or watch a Just Stop Oil puppet act like a possessed Pinocchio, you just wish for a Batman to shut them up. Well, you're in luck. These are times when Batman flew in and humbled some Wokies. You can just like this video right now, you already know it's going to be good. Don't forget to leave a Batman comment at the end, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. Okay, let's get into it.
We all have our past traumas, and sometimes, you were promiscuous in the past, but now you've changed your ways, and somebody should accept you for that.
I don't like to use the word should. It's one of my things. I'm trying to eliminate that shit word, but...
Why not?
Should?
Yeah, it's quite a common word in the vernacular.
It is a very common word. There's a lot of common words that we could delete from our language, but should is a shit word. It just makes us judge each other, put ourselves against, compare ourselves to each other, and then it makes us give ourselves standards that we're not really doing. We're saying that, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. It's saying, you're putting yourself at failure. So
I have a question. I have a question on the should thing.
Yeah.
If you have a child, should you feed the child?
It is best looked upon to feed the child.
That was a whole minute of her discussing utter rubbish. It's best looked upon? No, ma'am, your kind keeps fighting the use of appropriate words. First it was ladies and gentlemen, now you're hunting for should?
Really love your shirt. Where did you travel from to get here today?
I'm from Houston.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you get here? What transportation method?
Car.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that's kind of hypocritical?
No. Why is that?
Cars cause pollution.
Okay. No more questions.
No more questions. The light has been on for a while and no one has been home. Well, looks like she's seeing it all now.
Hey, I really wanted to thank you for coming out today and specifically for talking to those who have different viewpoints than your own. I'm not looking to argue with you. I just want to know about the ideology as to why you think that a woman shouldn't have the right to her own bodily autonomy in regards to abortion.
A woman should have the right to her own bodily autonomy, but not to kill another human. But as far as the idea that I'm sitting awake at night thinking, how do I control women's bodies? No, not really, not at all, actually. The thing that I do care about is the preservation of human lives. I don't have an argument that pro-choicers are ignoring a premise. That's fine. You're allowed to ignore a premise or think a premise that I'm getting is wrong. It turns out that the vast majority of women for literally all of human existence have engaged in childbearing and rearing, and it has not, in fact, ruined their lives. In fact, married women with children are, by poll data, the happiest women in America.
All right, thank you for the straw man fallacy. Thank you.
I missed what she actually said. What was it? Straw man?
Straw man fallacy, I think.
You can't just shout straw man and run away. Do you want to come back and explain why it was a straw?
Again, she's a runner, she's a track star. If you don't want kids or marriage, that's fine. You are allowed to make that choice. Murder is against the law. You can't choose that children that aren't out and about do not get to be victims. Where is their autonomy?
Bigot is a very loaded term. And because it has real sting and applies to real people, there's an effort to try to pin it on people. See, like these guys are walking out, they're too lazy to debate with me. They're not going to. I mean, they aren't. They aren't. Because, I'll tell you why. Hold on. Look, I'm here. I'm here.
Now was the parading necessary? Or is there a crazy need to get attention? Parents, listen to your kids yap more. Maybe they won't need to do this.
Woman. So who's the prize in a lesbian relationship? Both of them?
Both of them. Yeah, oh God.
Both be the prize. So then why aren't they both the prize in a heterosexual relationship?
Because men are I was about to say men are down here and women are up here.
Okay, so are women equal to men or are women superior to men?
For sure, superior.
Okay, so then why do women go around saying they want equality when they actually want superiority?
It's just for the look. So people just want to be like, oh, I'm gonna go look for this, but they're actually looking for money.
Why is it, do you know what the definition of chauvinism is?
No.
Chauvinism means one sex thinking they're superior to another. Why is it when men think they're superior, we call it chauvinism, but when women think they're superior, we call it feminism?
That's a great question.
The world would be a better place with less pretense and more brave honesty. You want more, not equal, just say that. You want competition, not cohabitation, just say that. That way we don't have to hear this anymore. It's getting old.
You need love too, right?
No, not anymore.
No.
You're not fucking with the short kings, no?
Not anymore.
He's China, you type.
Guys.
No.
No. Why?
Because he's a rat. Yeah, because he's a rat.
I'm a what?
Because you can't grow a beard.
A rat. Wow. Looks like he's got a beard to me.
Really?
Kingskeeper that called that you.
I mean, for your grooming needs.
I think you need to use the manscape.
It's rosemary oil.
I think you need to use the venom power and lose some weight. I don't think you should be talking. I don't think you should be talking anything about anyone's looks.
Why is everyone grabbing their pearls and gasping? She went on and on, insulting his appearance and even poked his face. At least he didn't poke her belly.
I think there's two things that make life valuable. I think consciousness, the ability to experience pain, senses and stuff like that, and personal identity. In particular, psychological continuity identity. So the fact that we have memories, we have relationships, people have relationships to us. I think
Do you need both of those, or is it neither or? I just want to clarify your position.
Either or.
Okay, so if it's either or, then people with Alzheimer's have real continuity problems, you can't kill them.
No, because people still have relationships with them though, right? So like just because you have like...
I mean, you have a relationship with them, but with people with advanced stage Alzheimer's, they really don't have a relationship.
Okay, but for the sake of example, like let's say someone dies, right? The family gets to decide what you do with the body. Because I know what you say. When you say, someone says, oh, it's just consciousness, and then they're brain dead, you say, well, can you stab them? No, you can't. Because that's the family's decision what to do with the body. It's the person's decision what they want to do.
So if the family decides to stab them, it's okay to stab the
when they're brain dead? Yeah, if they want to
No, not brain dead. Let's say that you're comatose for a specifically and predictably short period of time, say 9 months.
Say now, well, what is the person... Okay, yeah.
Now the question seems absolutely ridiculous, huh? Now he doesn't stop there. This young man believes that if an adult goes into a 9-month coma and would surely return with complete amnesia, the family has a right to pull the plug. In his exact words, totally fine, I'm totally cool with it. Okay, scary, but watch how Ben Shapiro plays around his logic.
Right, that's what I was using.
So are you a Janist? Because animals also have consciousness.
No, I would say that killing animals is wrong. You have no problem with that.
So just to get this straight. Killing Fluffy the hamster, deeply wrong. Killing a dude who wakes up from who's going to wake up from a coma in 9 months with memory problems, totally cool. Okay, I mean.
Just admit you're wrong. Wokies just keep digging holes deeper than their brains can crawl out of.
He wants to deal with. So we have.
Is he bisexual or he's straight?
No, he's not bisexual. Oh. Baby, I like a real man. Okay. All right, a real man.
I would say that a real man wouldn't allow his woman, not even allow, wouldn't get into a serious relationship with the woman that is open on her end and other men are smashing her. He's not secure in his position in a relationship to set boundaries and say, hey, I don't want you talking to other women and other men. So therefore, he is insecure and it is an ego. He lacks ego. He lacks confidence.
No. Well, so when you speak of a real man, you're speaking of my father. That's a real man.
So why don't you date a man like your father?
Oh, I'm looking for a man like my daddy. I'm looking for like a man like my daddy. Listen,
time out.
A man doesn't, because what you convert and who you claim to be makes you a real man. A real man is what you stand by and what you live by every single day.
Real quick.
My father is a man that wakes up and he's peaceful. He prays for me. He sends me good energy.
I got it, Nay.
She was talking about being in a hollow cylinder relationship. This means that the relationship was only open on one end, and in this case, it's hers. That's not the craziest part. Her father is apparently a real man, and that's who she's looking for. So her boyfriend isn't that already?
It's very simple, Nay. If you're
And I
not
ain't
going
leaving.
to,
So we gonna sit here. We gonna debate what they baby. I'm a boy.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Baby, I
That's
love
what you think.
You gonna
These
love
are,
me too.
yeah, these are the rules of the podcast, and all the girls heard.
So only the host could speak
Time
when
out.
everyone else
Listen,
is talking.
you still speak. Time out. You still speaking while I'm speaking.
I am.
Got it. Slow it down. Right? You just admitted that.
Don't invite nobody on your podcast.
You
You
just
gonna
admitted
disrespect
that
them.
your
Go ahead,
man
talk your
ain't
shit.
that man. That your father is that man.
No, he is that man.
No, he ain't. Your man
he
isn't that man. You just admitted that.
Care of. I don't have to
You
cheat
just
with
admitted
him.
that.
I feel sorry
But
for whoever
listen,
you date because baby, I could never be trapped in the box.
We actually gonna end this. You up out of here. It's time for you to go.
I ain't
You're
going
not paying-
nowhere. And I let him talk. The whole time he spoke. But we know his podcast.
It is what it is. Nah, I'm good, mama. I'm good, mama. Don't touch me, mama. I'm good, mama. Don't touch me.
See? Now she's embarrassed about being kicked out. If you have something to say, do that. But trying so hard to score points is just sad.
If you're an OnlyFans model and you're doing all kinds of horny, girly shit on OnlyFans, you know, and then you expect your dude to respect you and not follow other women, you're delusional. Bitch, you are undressing in front of a bunch of men all over the world. How dare you have that even remotely double standard that your guy can't do what you're already doing? You can't be an OnlyFans model and then say you're a monogamist. There's just no way.
I mean, if you're not sleeping with anybody else and you're not meeting up with anybody else,
You're sharing your body and these personal things that should be only reserved for the person that you're with or married to. If you're married and you're an OnlyFans model and you're sharing your body on the internet and I can pay to see your vagina hole, you are not a monogamous woman. I'm sorry. You're showing your private parts to other people who are not your husband. Because when you take that vow, when you get married, you're vowing to be for that other person and only for that other person.
So these women claim to be monogamous adult content creators. Yeah, never heard a more moronic oxymoron.
So you do believe we should open the border?
Yeah.
What do you think of all these MAGA Republicans that are saying, you know, close the border?
No, I don't agree with the MAGA position on just about anything.
And it doesn't scare you if we open the border, maybe some illegal people could come in that maybe they're traffickers?
I don't buy that. Immigrants flowing into the United States is a net benefit for the economy.
All right, because we have Juan here who he needs a home. Yeah. So all we're asking for, sir, is like if you could house him for a minimum of 3 months.
No, I'm not going to house anybody. I don't.
Wait.
No,
he's a good guy and he's a hard worker. I swear.
Don't doubt it. I have a very small place. No, I live alone and I.
But sir, here's my question: if we're gonna open the border and you're not willing to provide to contribute to yeah, he said yeah.
He said what?
Oh no. It's opposite day, so it means yes.
Anyway, I'll say good evening.
Sir, can we at least agree that you don't actually believe in an open border?
Not in that sense, no.
He has to be someone's father or uncle with all that beautiful gray hair. Too bad what's in his head isn't as beautiful. Add that to the list. The sorry I have to go, abort mission, runaway.
Erase that. Lady, are you crazy? Whoa, lady. Hey, lady, you're crazy. Erase Lady. Move. No, you can't hit me. Yeah, call him. You hit me. I got you on camera hitting me. Stay. You hit me in the face. Yeah, here we go. Karen of the day that decided to hit me because I was filming. Lady, you're not supposed to hit me. I don't know who the you are. You need to get away from me. Lady, get the away from me. Lady, you hit me, yeah, and I'm gonna show the cops when you call them out here how you hit me. I'm allowed to defend myself. No, I don't think so. Yeah, see, that's liberal garbage. I'm allowed to defend myself. You're attacking me. You're coming up. Yes, you did. I have that here. I need your phone.
No, lady, you're not allowed to grab me. You're not allowed to grab me. You have no authority to put your hands on me. She hit me.
I saw that. I'm calling the police.
I don't know what the hell what's wrong with her.
Okay, this channel does not support violence and harm against any gender. People should be respectful to each other. But if you're gonna throw a punch, you should know how to avoid one, or at least take one like a champ. Lying on the ground like that is not very demure.
Nicki Minaj or Cardi B? You want to pass? Come on, I'm gonna pass. He's gonna pass. Okay, you only get one pass now.
See how they easily reduced his experience to nothing? And he is right. If you have value, ladies, you will be valued.
Keep telling men that we can do it without them. That it's something to be upset about if they open a door, if they pull out a chair, that we don't need them in our society. And then we're surprised when they don't want to commit and when they don't want to do the things that they should be encouraged to do. We need masculine men like we need feminine women. And being a feminine woman does not mean taking your clothes off on the internet. I don't know who needs to hear that.
Applause.
Pregnant woman is murdered. Do you think it's just for a judge to charge the criminal with 2 murders, one for the woman and the other for the baby in her womb?
I absolutely do.
Yes.
Definitely.
The boyfriend of a woman and father of the child doesn't want to raise a baby. Does he have the right to kill that baby if the baby's unwanted?
Absolutely not.
No, he don't.
He does not have a right to kill a baby. No.
If someone slips a pregnant woman an abortion pill that causes her to miscarry and she doesn't know it's an abortion pill, do you think that person should be charged?
Yes.
And what do you think they should be charged with?
Murder. First-degree murder.
Murder. So it's homicide in these cases if it's the man that's causing it, but not if the woman that's causing it.
In her case, she knows that she wanted it and she took the pill to do it.
If that person's being killed, do you think it matters to him or her who's doing the killing, or are they being murdered regardless?
They're being murdered regardless. So yeah.
So do you think it's a homicide in both cases?
Whoever the killer is.
The stuttering is so satisfying. Wait, is abortion only murder when a man is involved? Because we all seem to agree now that a human is being housed in the womb, and any intentional harm committed against such a human is criminal and should be prosecuted. Except it's the mother, of course. Then it's the right to bodily autonomy.
I just want to read you this poster that I have because I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that life begins at conception. So my poster reads, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies."
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because it's living. It's living.
How about you let her speak?
You're fundamentally denying science to validate your opinion.
You actively deny science, ma'am.
How am I denying? What science did I deny, Darby?
Okay, so let's look at some posters over here.
But
you don't have to be here.
I need you to tell me what science. You just made an accusation that I denied science. What science did I deny?
That it's a child inside of you. It is a clump of cells when
I'm a clump of cells. What makes me different?
There has to be nothing going on upstairs for her. No original thought. She had to keep looking at her noisy backup dummies for responses. Darby, was it? You seem sweet. Please, find logic.
Related to stopping oil to throw soup over a painting in a gallery. How is that related? How is it helping the poorest people in my country?
I understand that right now fossil fuels are subsidised 32 times more than renewables, even though renewables are 9 times cheaper. Would you rather your bills were £3,500 or £400?
I would rather that you and your friends stopped wreaking havoc in the city of London. I'd rather you stop throwing soup over paintings, stop putting orange paint on the windows of Harrods, stop sitting in roads so that my friend couldn't get the treatment that she needed. And I'd rather you went out, worked a bit. Maybe you could do some litter picking on a beach. Maybe you could do something that was practical and helpful. But I don't think being obtrusive and obstructive and lecturing ordinary people when you have no idea what it's like to try and work and make ends meet in the UK. You talk about millions of people. You talk about people who are in poverty. You have no idea what that's like because you live in the rarefied atmosphere of a university at some wokerati place, and you think what you're doing is changing the planet. I think what you're doing is pissing people off, and I think you could allocate your energies more effectively by going out and picking up litter on a beach.
This interviewer just did the work her mother should have done ages ago. Anyway, that is Phoebe. One road blockage done by her Just Stop Oil friends had held up an ambulance carrying a woman to the emergency room. This woman ended up passing away because of the delayed medical attention. But Phoebe claims she's trying to help millions of poor people, even though she admitted to not working and that she has never paid a bill in her life.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
I have a better question.
The reason why that happened and the reason why that was going on back in the day is because a woman was not working. A woman was not going to work every day.
Okay, but my question is, why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do it? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done that?
I do it every day. First of all,
First of all, for a man, a messy ass man and children. Have you done that?
I can't.
First of all, Lazar,
what?
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence.
Why was she so hyper with it? Calm down and say what you gotta say. If you don't want to do chores, cool. If another person doesn't mind it, let them leave. You're just exercising your vocal cords over something that isn't that deep.
Real quick, do y'all believe in women's intuition?
Hell yeah.
If you can feel that your man is cheating, why can't you tell when he's unhappy?
Give him the mic. Tell us why, ladies.
Are men allowed to have opinions on moral topics?
Yeah, you are, of course, allowed to have opinions, but it's a really controversial opinion to tell a woman what to do with their body. You are a man, and it's not your heel-based eye.
So if it's not your DNA, why is it your choice?
Of course, it's my body.
It happens to be temporarily in your body, but is it your being?
Yeah.
It is? Didn't the woman make a choice to have sex and then she should carry the responsibility that comes with it?
I think there are two people who should carry the responsibility, not only the woman.
Okay, wait, hold on. So then shouldn't a man be able to say, you can't have an abortion without my consent? I thought you said it was just a woman's issue.
Please, make up your mind, lady. Are men involved or not? Classic 2024 feminists. You want women to do it all, but somehow want men to suffer for doing nothing at the same time. It's the my body, my choice tag for the woman and the deadbeat father label for the man. Crazy sides of a coin.
You're also saying, like, as you get older, like, your goals have shifted a little bit, right? If I'm understanding correctly.
Well, it's because I fell for the mind virus of, like, be a boss babe, focus on your career, make money. And I do think it's a mind virus. And that's what I was taught in school and college. And now I'm in my 30s. When I was 20s, there wasn't content telling, like, women, oh, this, like, being in your feminine energy, this is what's going to make you happy. The only thing that was available was, like, go be independent and make money. And I tried that. And I thought that's what was going to make me happy. Now in my 30s, I'm like, oh wait, I'm like 30, I want to have kids, and my biological clock is ticking.
Okay, technically, yeah. You could also call that your third stage of life, because like through the 20s, like yeah, you really want to work towards those things, and then as you get older, like yeah. I guess that what I'm saying is like,
but it's not fulfilling as a woman. Like focusing on career and money, it's not going to be fulfilling at the end of the day.
So the girl in the denim jacket was standing on business about her boss babe, men hating feminism. Then one of the people in the chat wrote her a little love note.
So does the wage gap exist?
I just think you're brainwashed. Something.
You think I'm brainwashed?
I think that there is a lot of expectations for women to behave a certain way.
Are there not expectations for men to behave a certain way too?
Yes, there are.
I would almost argue it's easier to start a business in America as a woman. You have preferential treatment when it comes to loans, preferential hiring processes. Literally just because you're a woman, women are the majority of college graduates. Life being a woman, I feel like in some ways kind of life on easy mode if you play into the corporate structure. They literally have empowerment programs that they don't allow men, let alone straight white men in. There's literally a multi-billion-dollar corporate push to empower women. You know, you think I'm brainwashed, you can think that, but you also espouse an ideology that you can't even give me literally one example why you actually believe it, let alone define it, but you just slap that label on because that's what mainstream society has told you to believe. So I think you're actually the one who's brainwashed.
Okay, what to do? Anyway, let's hope she doesn't just cry, but reflects.
Under 18, you should be able to transition, or do you think that's an 18 and up decision?
I
think that that is a decision between a child, their parents, and their doctors.
Okay. So under 18 if it's approved by the doctor and the mother.
The parent.
Okay, the parent. Well, what do you think about kids slapping back a Corona?
Thank you.
I mean, if they can chop the should also be able.
No, don't walk away. See how she got irked by the term mother? Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, Charlie. So I'm a student here. Just going to start off and say that I disagree with you on a lot of things, and specifically I'd like to ask about how you and the people you associate with, the people you provide a platform for, often say things that are a lot of rhetoric that's definitely against the LGBT community, like the comedian on here earlier who was making fun of a trans person. And I'm just wondering, how do you feel that this kind of rhetoric, pushed primarily by the right, maybe influences the phenomenon that are observed, such as LGBT people having higher rates of suicide? How do you think that that might play into that?
Not at all. They should get tougher. Life is tough. Let me ask the question. Are a bunch of Christians committing suicide because of all the anti-Christian films, music, and jokes that have permeated Hollywood the last 30 years?
What anti-Christian media?
Like everything? How about the entire... You cannot watch a Simpsons episode, a Family Guy season, a Netflix special, Hulu special without, oh, this pastor is unfaithful, one-off joke about the hypocrisy of the church, or, oh, this Catholic priest is a pedophile, or, oh my goodness, they're covering for their licentiousness. It is widespread. It is embedded into the fiber of the creative code of Hollywood. So I will ask the question, has the bullying, the slander, and the mockery of, how about conservative America? Watch Bill Maher. They'll make fun of deplorables, they're awful people, they cling to their guns and their religion in Walmart. Have we seen an increase in suicide of conservative Christians because they're made fun of so much?
Do you think that maybe if you think this does...
No, you got to answer the question, because it's either like widespread mockery leads to suicide. Have we seen that connection in other places?
Well, then why? Why is...
So hold on, guys, hold on. Why are trans people committing suicide so much?
Why?
Because they have deep-seated mental problems to begin with.
Oh, trying hard to get a pacifier for the liberal babies, I see. Every month, one celebrity is in a sinful nun costume. They accessories the crown of thorns. Conservatives actually get physically attacked. If you want to play Hardship Olympics, I'm sure the gold doesn't go to the Halloween gang. And the student actually went on to say, the reason for these statistics that the alphabet painted is because conservatives do not accept them. Okay, no actual woman would hurt herself because strangers don't accept them. You know why? It's because they know who they are. No actual woman needs strangers to make her feel better about her gender. It's wired into her brain.
The dominant narrative in America is white people are evil, white people suck, we should be ashamed of ourselves, and
I don't think we should be ashamed of ourselves. I think that we should take responsibility for the system that we've created.
The best system in the world?
Oh, we do not have the best system in the world.
Who has a better system?
There are many European countries that are much better off than
you
us.
mean like the European countries with a higher density of whites, like Northern Europe?
That's one way to phrase it, I guess.
You don't mean Turkey?
No.
You don't mean Eastern Europe?
No.
With the communists? So the only time you can come up with a system that's better than America, it's a country that's more white than America.
Aw, Kat got your tongue? Your stance is starting to look completely idiotic now, isn't it?
What would you say to feminists who are in support of trans women being able to access historically women's spaces like female bathrooms and being able to participate in women's sports?
Let me ask you a question. What is cheating?
What is cheating? Somebody using the power against the weak.
Got it. Is Leah Thomas or William Thomas biologically stronger than the competitors that she was against?
I don't know about that specific situation.
Won the national title?
Yes.
Okay.
Won
After the transition, right? Okay, is that fair?
Yes.
So the other women against the man were born with less bone density, lower testosterone levels. What are they supposed to do to make it even?
I would not know on that specific situation.
Got it. And you're a feminist?
I am.
Who are you trying to protect?
Still true. Women. All women.
Well, I wish you well in the coming situation where now as a feminist, you're going to have to live under the tyranny of men who think they're women. Thank you for being here tonight.
At this point, the title feminist might have to be categorized soon. You could answer a single question Charlie directed at you. All you did was stutter throughout the minute. Is this what they call a pick me? Being so desperate for attention that you would stomp on other women must be it.
I don't know why you're so upset when you still have a ton of money, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean,
You are.
I'm not upset. You're the one that just swore. I'm actually quite happy and thankful I live in the greatest country ever to exist.
Excuse me for swearing. I feel like this entire getup is just you afraid of losing your economic and like white male privilege.
Wait, what privilege do I have as a white person?
Sunburn.
No, seriously.
Ignorant. Honestly, no. It was nice to meet you. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, but can you explain
Can I shake your hand? It was nice to meet you. I'd like you to think about the way your actions affect other people, not just the white male people in this country, but everybody in this country.
What does being a white person have to do about anything?
Once a little logic shows its pretty head, the liberal vampire has to run beneath a shade. If you're going to make accusations, please stand on business. You are boring us.
America racist?
Absolutely.
In what way? What do you mean?
Like financially, like if there's two homeless people, you know, and one was white and one was black or Mexican, I think majority of the people would help the white person, you know?
Do you think that we give more welfare and more social benefits to black people or white people?
The poor.
Doesn't matter what race you are?
No, it doesn't matter. No.
So if you're black or white, you can get help and
100%. It's equal all across the board.
And we are a democracy, right? So people must have voted that in, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So if we're racist and that's a problem, then wouldn't we vote in policies that would only help white people?
Never. No, nobody would ever allow that. Not even the whites would allow that because it's racist.
I think that like the welfare help out more with like the African Americans and stuff like that versus the white. But
so if we're
the racism's still around. There's some ignorant people out there, but for the most part, it's pretty much eliminated across the board. Like structurally, as far as structure goes, right?
So if we're racist, then why did white people vote for welfare and benefits and things that would help black people?
That I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
We are not surprised that you do not know. We don't expect you to know anything. You are an echo of a liberal voice. You don't have your own voice because you do not have your own mind.
Are you voting for Trump?
Yep.
White supremacist.
How? How can you say that?
How can I say if you vote for Donald Trump, you're a white supremacist?
How?
How? Because you support that man in office.
That's not an argument. I'm going to need proof that makes me a white supremacist. You're going to have to break down the argument?
That's not my job to say that.
You just accused me of being a white supremacist. You should be able to back that up.
Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I sure am.
That's my proof.
Are you voting for Joe Biden?
Yes, I am.
Then you're a pedophile.
No.
Yes, you are.
A pedophile.
You're a pedophile.
Well, logic does not lie. You could add to that list. Say confused, adept mumbler, senile, and so on and so forth.
In the recent past, you've advocated for the outright eradication of transgenderism from public life. Do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing? And if so, are you willing to turn yourself in for wearing women's panties in your gay college film?
I would encourage you to behave as a man. Is what I would do, because you are a man. You might hate me for telling you the truth, but I think the truth will set you free. And furthermore, your masquerading as a woman does infringe on the legitimate rights of other people, the rights of women to have their own bathrooms. I don't know if you're an athlete, but the rights of women to have their own sports leagues and the like. That is not something that you have a right to do, no matter how sincerely you believe the fantasy that you're a woman. As to that Yale thesis film, I was a professional actor, but you play one half gay guy in a Yale thesis film one time, it's all anybody wants to talk about. And by the way, that is the most heterosexual thing that has ever been produced at Yale University, okay?
Well, should more be said? Men, please be men. Women, be women. Side note, isn't it homophobic to try to shame Michael Knowles as an homosexual over a character he played in University? Or is it only homophobic when it's done by a straight person? Too many rules, man. Too many ridiculous rules.
Hi, how are you? I think pro-choice people aren't pro-abortion necessarily. They are pro-women having the choice to choose.
Are you pro-legal abortion?
Yes.
Okay, so you're pro-abortion. Pro-abortion.
I am pro-women having the choice. Do I agree with it? That's not for me to say.
But you're pro-legal abortion.
I am. I'm pro-women having the choice. It's pro-life or pro-choice, not
I'll just add the word legal.
Abortion.
Pro-legal abortion, people.
So is it pro-life or pro-choice? I didn't know there's an in-between.
No, you're pro-legal abortion.
Okay.
I'm anti-abortion.
Moving on.
So if I'm anti-abortion, what are you?
Pro women having the choice to choose.
Abortion.
Isn't that worth pondering on for a second? They love fancy words, but the consequences are so scary. The choice here is abortion, correct? So you support abortion, but when you're confronted with that reality, you begin to see just how horrible that choice is. So you would rather use another word to appease your conscience. You are either for or against. Pick one bravely. You are already choosing to kill children. Don't chicken out now.
I mean, do you think that a 16-year-old can meaningfully consent to having their body parts removed? Do you? No?
We do not. Yeah, we ask the questions. It's not.
Yes, stumble and mumble. Of course you ask the questions because you have no logical answer to any questions. No, that's not we. How embarrassing.
What's your name?
Jacob.
Jacob. Let me ask you this. How do you think they would have large-scale, long-term studies about the effects of these drugs and these surgeries on children when we only started doing it to children at a large scale a few years ago? So how could that even exist?
Yeah, I think scale is probably one of the more prevalent challenges of these studies.
Okay, so we're already hearing that there are challenges in these studies.
Yeah, every study has challenges. Like any scientific truth, like all of the scientific truth that we take for granted today, they're built on methodologies that fundamentally have flaws. Like if you want to make a specific critique, you can do that. If you're talking about
I just did.
Well, if you're talking about sample size, there are very well demonstrated statistical results that you don't need 10,000 people to get like a statistically significant value.
Yes,
no,
you
do.
Here's
no, absolutely not. It's like a very basic statistical
Jacob.
fact.
Jacob.
A sample size greater than 1,000, that can that has very nice asymptotic properties. Like
Jacob, here's what I know. If you want to even begin to claim that a study has proven that castrating and sterilizing little boys helps them in the long run, then you would need to have a large sample size of children who've gone through these procedures, and we've checked back with them in adulthood to see how they're doing. Those studies do not exist. They can't exist because we weren't doing this to kids at anywhere near this scale even 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. What that tells us, Jacob, is that the kids we have right now, they are the sample.
Actually,
okay, they are the experiment. We are experimenting on children right now.
Meet Jacob. Jacob is a scientific liberal. He believes that cutting off the body parts of children is a proven good thing that has always yielded good results. Those results, like the new genders, only exist in his head, of course.
Here's what I want to know. Are we able to just use common sense as well? And based on common sense, determine that it is certainly not a good idea to sterilize and castrate children and remove body parts from children before they are possibly old enough to consent to those procedures. Don't we know that just based on basic moral decency and common sense?
Sure, but you're trying to make causal statements about the impacts of medical interventions. You need to demonstrate that with science, and I'm not mentioning, and I'm not like making an ethos argument. Oh, like look at this organization. I'm saying that there are like very rigorous ways to substantiate your claims, and the people that are spending lots of time are doing that, and they come to conclusions that are very different from the ones that you say. I'm not making an appeal to ethos. Anybody can look at these studies and just see how they're done.
Right, and these are also studies being done by the people who it just so happens are profiting from the procedures that they say work, which is really interesting.
You think your professors are getting paid by like some?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
You think there's somebody like paying your professors for? I think you should.
How do you think it works, Jacob?
Because that's very unrealistic.
Do you think they're not being paid?
No,
they ain't doing this for free. I'll tell you that.
No. They're definitely being paid. But like, if there's some shady organization paying them, like, I'm sorry, that's sort of silly. Like, talk with your professors. That's like sort of silly.
Okay. Let me at least
How
ask.
can you know anything? There's always some conspiracy.
I think you can know things without asking for permission sometimes from professors to say that you know them.
No, I'm just saying.
And one of those things that you can know is that it's never okay to castrate a child. I mean, I don't need... Jacob,
Thank you, Matt.
Okay.
Or you could look into thinking for yourself. Anyway, have a good day, Jacob.
Members of the board, my name is Craig Schubert, I'm the mayor of this city. It has come to my attention that your educators are distributing essentially what is child pornography in the classroom. I've spoken to a judge this evening. He's already confirmed that. So I'm going to give you a simple choice. You either choose to resign from this Board of Education or you will be charged. Thank you.
And that's how you swoop in to save the day. This is what your ejected officials should act like. Take notes, y'all.
How many refugees has Poland taken? 0. And you're proud of that?
If you're asking me about Muslim illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. Do you sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees?
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we have not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland, and we can be called populists, nationalists, racist. I don't care. I care about my family and about...
You would call the cops if some uninvited stranger comes into your home. No? Let's switch the question. If a homeless man breaks your lock and settles in your kitchen because he is hungry and homeless, would you let him? Systems are put in place to allow outcomes that can be managed. Don't be ridiculous. Liberals are always minding everyone's business, I tell you. Oh, you need to reduce your volumes for this one.
Who the hell let you back on this campus?
It's a public sidewalk.
So nobody invited you here? Officers, if nobody invited him here, can we ask him to leave this campus? Is this being handled?
You're a hero.
You're a hero? Who the said that? Raise your hand! Raise your hand if you're so proud of it! Have you ever been raped? Then shut the up!
That's a good question.
That would be awesome. But like, why is he allowed on our campus if this isn't even like an organized event? No, I am not part of this event.
You're not mad?
I understand.
So if I called you and said somebody raped me, you wouldn't be mad?
Well, you just twisted my words and I didn't say that.
And rape culture exists, and you're telling me 1 in 1,000? I can tell you that's bullshit.
1 in 1,900.
Do you see 1,900 people standing here? I can guarantee you, multiple people right here have been raped, and this is not 1,900 people.
Okay, how can you guarantee that?
This one is the shriek of horror. No sense, just noise.
Ma'am, don't steal the sign. You can't steal the sign. You're on camera stealing a sign. Sam! Officer, she's stealing a sign. You're not going anywhere. Right now you're being detained, okay?
Detained for what?
Larceny, you stole his sign.
He has it back.
Okay, yeah, because I got it from you.
I moved it 50 yards.
I don't care if you moved it 1 foot. You don't have a right to take someone's property, okay? Period. I don't care what the circumstance is. You don't have a right to take anyone's property. He was holding it, therefore it was his, and you took it. Okay? I know you may not agree with what's being said, but you don't have a right to take someone's property, period. Okay? 116 minutes.
What?
You're under arrest for You admitted to taking a sign.
Well, all I did was I just walked it over here. I was going to give it back to him.
And those are the tears of realizing that actions have real life consequences. I like this more. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Most just country in the history of the world. You have to get a college education. You have to voluntarily go to lectures. It's so awful. I can't imagine that, the people who are in war-torn nations, they must truly pity you. Goodbye then. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your support, but I'm not that intimidated by these guys.
This one has to be number 8 for me. The crowd surfing noise of foolishness. Also, who knows where a person could buy that fat shirt? I want one in purple.
You keep defining abortion as the murder of babies, which biological fact is you would say most abortions are done before they are actually babies. It's still just a fetus. So my question...
Do you know what the word fetus means?
It's just a cluster, a
That's
zygote
not what
developing
fetus
into
means.
a baby eventually.
The word fetus, it's a Latin word, and it just means offspring. That's all it means. It just means the next generation of a being. So, but that's what a baby is also. I mean, that's what you would call your adult child someday once he's grown, hopefully, if he hasn't been
Can I
murdered.
ask my question?
Well, I'm just like to clarify this point. You would call your adult child your offspring too, but all of these terms that you might use, fetus, embryo, the one they love is zygote, which sounds like a Pokemon, but they use all these different terms, but it's all referring to the same being, and you were that being once. You, the person who's standing here right now.
Do any of us have a memory of being that being?
No, I mean, I don't have a memory of last Thursday, frankly. It's been a very busy week, but...
I want that as number 10, the fold my shoulders like a sassy adolescent because I'm making no sense stance. Why are these people always so angry, and they always make it look like they are in such a hurry? You have nothing going on but stupid agendas. Please take a seat.
Can you identify as a black person?
No.
Why?
I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
Oh, the famous walk of shame. How do you dig your own grave though? How dumb and short-sighted do you have to be?
There's evidence of people who were transgender in ancient Greece, Rome. Judaism is an example of a religion that acknowledges, I think, 6 or 7 genders.
I don't think that's quite true. And my evidence for that would be in the very first book of the Torah, in Genesis. One of the most prominent lines is that in the beginning, God created man. Both male and female created he them.
It's not Judaism. I think what the original translation, I can't cite my source right now, okay? But from what I've learned going to different religious schools, they said that the original text said Adam and Eve as in one being.
Well, man. So in the earliest chapters of Genesis, you have the creation of man in Adam. And then Eve is created from Adam's rib, but she would be the other sex. What you're citing is this line that a lot of people who are pro-transgender will say, which is, actually in some Native American tribe that I can't quite name right now, I'm sure they believe in a third and a fourth and a fifth gender, but that just isn't true. That's been made up by white liberals.
You know the movie Mulan, Disney Mulan?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Mulan, dresses as a man, right, goes to war. That's based off of true history.
Oh, yes, cross-dressing has occurred in history.
Not just cross-dressing, but people who
in
went...
Mulan, did the female character think she was a man?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hold, is she trying to use Mulan as a reference? The Bible? She has to be one of those girls who says, "Do you know that TikTok sound?" in every conversation.
You see, you're a really good singer, you're great, but I don't like the beard.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I don't care.
You don't care.
Yeah, I don't care at all.
How do you people find the time in the little 24 hours to mind everything in the world but their business? Is his hair growing on your face? No? Then shut it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and only ladies and gentlemen it is and shall always be. I am an 18-year-old high school student and wanted to take this time to bring to your attention the current issue with biological men claiming they are women entitled to use women's spaces. There was an incident within our district that occurred recently regarding a transgender woman who really is a biological man having an altercation with a young woman at MLK High School. This man is and has been using the women's restroom and locker room. Firstly, why are we affirming the mental confusion of this boy and putting the safety of women in jeopardy by allowing mentally confused men to use the women's spaces? Of course, any male who claims he is a woman will accept it, but what about the women? What about the true girls like myself who are female down to our DNA? Why don't we ever get a say in whether or not we are comfortable with this? The truth is, we aren't. The majority of us aren't, and yet nothing has been done to protect the safety of these women. So please do something about it. Thank you.
Okay, where is that lady that claimed this debacle doesn't affect anyone? Does she see news and content like this? Or does she only hit play when inaccuracies are involved?
I am not the same as a too.
Why? What's the distinction?
I'm not having sex with people.
Hang on, so let me get this right. If a dude goes up to a guy's room and she just dances naked for him and he off to it, she's not a too?
Yeah, that is the too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's still
kinda
too. So hang
contradicts
on. I'm never gonna let you evade, no matter how much you filibuster.
This is what happens when you ignore dictionaries and let people define terms based on how they feel. What do you call a person who gives out any form of sexual favors and gets paid for it?
You was in agreement that your force was institutionally racist. Is that correct?
I agreed with the report, the independent report, and so did the chief fire officer accept the findings.
Okay, so
of that
could you
report.
please tell me, Councillor, what unfair advantages white people have in your force?
I would hope not, none. Not advantages. Did I hear you?
Yeah, do they have
correctly?
any advantages?
No.
Well, then how can you be institutionally racist?
The famous stammer of foolishness meeting knowledge. That's an 8 out of 10 for me.
The Conservatives continue to protect the wealthiest instead of supporting Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
That's a little bit rich coming from him as he raises taxes on single moms for the crime of driving to the grocery store while he treats himself to a jet-setting experience where the food on the plane of a 6-day trip was $220,000. Beef brisket, parsley potatoes with truffle oil, beef tenderloin with port wine sauce, braised lamb shanks, and even cheesecake with pistachio brittle. Mr. Speaker, with Canadians lined up at the food bank, what's on the menu for this Prime Minister this summer?
Nothing better than receipts. I can imagine his face after his double standards saw the light of day.
Is this a pro-life interview, by the way? Are you guys pro-life groups? I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. This is a waste of my time. Have a good one.
The walk. This is the walk of fear. Love to see it.
I personally don't think that this podcast and panel is going to fix shit for society, but hey, to each their own.
They already know what you're going to do. They know that even if you are only making $200 a month on OnlyFans, that you're going to go back so that you can have your illustrious career in lingerie sales on OnlyFans.
I will.
It's not for you. It's for the hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people who watch this. It's not for you. We know what you're going to do. You're going to be a 304 for the rest of your life. But it's not. We're talking about all the people who see it.
You're rage quitting? Wait, you're rage quitting because...
I'll come back. Have an adult conversation. Talk some shit back.
Do you want to come back?
You, on a screen, to go ahead and go and call me a 304 on a live, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, but is it true?
No!
Oh wow, maybe that was a little harsh, but humbling was carried out and the truth was told.
The Bible says honor your mother and your father. Is she honoring her mother and father by pointing to her for? This is what the world taught her. This is what the world. You don't have a. You're a woman. You're a woman. You don't got a. Let me teach you something about anatomy. Men have this. Women have for. Even if you identify as a woman. Oh, there we go. I get that. Look, I know. Here we go. Now you see. You need to get out. You're not a tranny. You're a confused human being. You're a woman. And maybe no one ever told you. God says you're a woman. He said man and female, he created them. He didn't create two spirits. You don't have one. If you are a woman and you think that you can have a that's a strong delusion. Let me ask you a question. I was born with a micro. That's a clit. That's not a micro. That's a clit. That's a clip. You were born with boobs and a vagina. You were born with. Yes, you're right. Hey, that's right.
Did you ever envision a world where you have to scream body parts through a gramophone?
You hate women, you understand?
Wait, guys.
You have no respect for women. That's why you're here arguing right now.
You respect
he doesn't.
Andrew. It's Mother's Day. How do you like that? You murdered your kid. Happy Mother's Day, murderer. And the woman next to you, she agrees with me. How does that make you feel? How does that make the entire CCP feel that you're down here getting impregnated, murdering your offspring? How does that make you feel, ladies? That make you feel good?
Knock, knock. Who's there? The bitter truth. The bitter truth. Who? The bitter truth Wokies cannot handle.
So if it touches me, you're going to fall really hard and very fast. Okay? I'm not f***ing about. You want to play them games? That's what happens.
shade game, mate. We're just playing off the umbrella. We need shade.
Yeah.
Come on, not everything's about you. Also, if you know the law so well, you shouldn't threaten to assault people.
It's not a threat to assault, it's a threat to defend.
Complete violation of the 20th.
I will take it off your end of. You've been on. Stop doing it on purpose. I can use the law to defend myself. End of. Not playing these stupid games with you. Not happening.
I just know he was shaking under that mask. See his hands. Did they look like they were shaking? Absolutely. He better go learn how to do kung fu with that ugly umbrella.
Me and Andrew are misogynists.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Andrew's a misogynist.
I think he has an animosity towards women, yeah. I think so.
Do you think I'm a misogynist?
A little bit. The definition of hatred is a great dislike. And it's actually one of the sins of living in the flesh.
What if it's possible? I don't dislike women. I just dislike stupid people. And it doesn't matter if they're men or women. And you just happen to be a stupid person, and that's why I dislike you. And also happen to be a woman at the same time. So you happen to be stupid and happen to be a woman, but I don't hate you because you're a woman. I dislike you because you're stupid. Well, could that be possible?
Well, why don't you ever talk about men? You always talk about how much you hate women every day.
I debate it professionally for a living against men and women. You go on TikTok after you got with a guy who had 1 million TikTok followers so you could piggyback on that to fame. I would not bullshit me here, sweetheart.
We dislike stupid too, in case you were wondering.
You want to have as much sex as possible, but then I say if I get pregnant, I can kill the baby. That's really dark.
It's not killing the baby.
What? Killing what?
It's a clump of cells.
You're a clump of cells. I'm a clump of cells. We're all clumps of cells.
Why did her mouth fly open? Did you suddenly realize that if you are also the clump of cells you claim unborn babies are, you could also be terminated from the world? Or did you just never take cytology in high school? Never heard of the cell theory? You're a college student.
I wanted to ask you, when you had mentioned those screaming banshees as well as these sexually confused people, and they were lying, and I think they knew what they were doing. Do you intend to further create the bias that reduces people's ability to collaborate with others through your use of collective umbrella terms like us and opposition of them? And why do you continue to promote that division?
Well, because those are my pronouns, and I would ask you to affirm and respect my pronouns.
Her face just brings satisfaction. How does it feel to hear the same crap you preach, chant, and march every day? If you don't respect Michael Knowles' pronouns, you are committing an act of violence against his person, not to mention how offensive you are. Oh, and you're being racist as well. Let's not forget that you are also being straight-phobic. Capiche?
That is impossible.
Do you think it's hard to do you think it's hard to ask someone, hey, don't murder an innocent person, even if you want to, even if that would be convenient? Because that's what we're saying about.
Because our fundamental beliefs are different. I don't think it's murder. I think it's that thing in the baby, not the baby, but the uterus.
You just said
that
it.
Is not,
I think you just admitted that I'm right. You that's called a Freudian slip, and I think you just proved the point.
Chill out. But the thing in the uterus is not a baby. That's what I was trying to say. It's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Okay.
It's a tumor.
And trying to be like, it's a baby. We just have fundamentally different belief systems, and I don't believe that. No, I don't think it's murder. It's not murder.
Right, but the baby unlike a tumor, say, the baby in the womb, it has the DNA of an individual human being that's different from the DNA of the mother, and the baby in the womb has all the characteristics of human life, and the baby in the womb grows at a very early stage, grows to take on the form of an individual human being, and the baby in the womb left unmurdered will grow into a full adult-sized human being just like you are. So that would seem to be a difference between the baby in the womb and the cancerous tumor. So you're saying, well, I just don't believe that, but you obviously do believe that because you just admitted it, because you called the baby a baby. You don't want to acknowledge that reality because it's inconvenient. And I'm not denying that there are inconveniences in the world, and there's suffering, and there are all sorts of difficult decisions that people have to make, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a right and a wrong answer, and it doesn't even mean that you don't know what it is, because you've admitted that you know what it is.
Your lips may lie, but your heart will always know your truth. She began her argument by accusing Michael Knowles of weaponizing religion to limit abortion and trans rights. She claimed only religion saw babies as babies, but somehow slipped into the truth. Guess she's also a religion weaponizer.
Good afternoon to you, Shivani.
Good afternoon, Julia. You know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar. So the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you. But I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person, and you're a female person. So I will use she and her. Thank you very much.
Do what you like, I guess.
Well, there you are. You didn't need to tell me then, did you?
There are just too many good reactions today. I quite fancy the uncomfortable smile and eyebrow twitches. The interviewer called you by your name, but you had to drag in pronouns that had not been mentioned. It's a conversation between two people. The only pronouns that would be used would be you and I. Calm down, no one cares.
Clarify your definition of critical race theory.
Put your hands on me.
It's time to go.
I'm saying to you.
Boy,
Thank you.
physical.
On the phone. Yeah, I want
A lot of kids stay in school. Stop, Sam. It's okay. Just come out.
I'm prosecuting you. Look, don't. You can't make me go down those stairs. That's not your flat. You put your hands on me. I'm getting the police now.
One more time.
No, you're being prosecuted right now. Right now. Can't tell me what I'm doing. I want my stuff. What I'm doing. All right. Listen, what? No, I'm calling the police. They can see this podcast. Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. He's done what he's trying to do, what he's employed to do. She's not really coming back. If she comes back, obviously, you have the doors. So obviously you have the legal power to remove someone from the building.
Why do you people love getting kicked out of places? If you're not wanted, have some self-respect and dignity, and just leave while you still have class. You called the cops, and they are not even on your side. Must have stung.
Are you saying that men should not be allowed to have Barbie dolls?
I did not say that whatsoever, but I'm saying there's certain character attributes and traits of how young men should be raised and how young ladies should be raised.
You are defining that women should be raised in one way and men should be raised in another.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes. Men are better at some things than women, and women are better at some things than men.
What things are men better at?
Lifting heavy objects. Women are better caretakers and nurturers. Women are more organized.
I'm sorry, say that again?
That men are usually stronger physically than women. That is true.
How is that naturally better? It's like,
I'm not saying better. I'm not saying one sex or gender is better than the other. They're different.
I can see your point. I can see that men do have more testosterone.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. So there's differences.
Yes, but
therefore men are better at certain things than women, and women are better at certain things than men.
There's that beautiful look. What's so wrong with someone being different from you? Why do you want to be the same as someone else? Feminism created competition, envy, and bitterness against a gender that was just existing. If you want strength, go to the gym, sip some roids. No one cares. You can do your thing without posters.
First day, I had 25 students. By day 2, I had 19, because 6 parents switched out of the class because they saw me, and they were like, there's no freaking way, before I even got a word in. Do I think that it is okay for a parent to see me and go, not around my kid? No, I don't think that's okay. I feel like that's really crossing the line.
It's still the right of the parent to make that decision as to whether or not they want their child to learn from you.
Okay.
Like, it's still that parent's right. Like, you can disagree with their motivations, their motives, their ideas, but it is still their child.
So parents can decide puberty blockers, can decide to dress the baby boys as girls, can have abortions whenever they please, but can't withdraw their children from a class they are paying for. If you see a teacher wearing a Trump hat, I bet you would withdraw your child too. No hard feelings.
When black people kill black people, they don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists.
You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
Where? I am black. I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Stop making people accept that they're oppressed. You're forcing a rhetoric into your minds, which is not true. That's my point. Okay. Violence is wrong, period. It's not about blacks. Okay. Have you seen any white person coming out and saying white life matter? No, violence is wrong.
They literally do all the time. Every time there's a Black Lives Matter protest, a white person.
It's a violence problem. You guys are wasting everybody's.
Imagine fighting against a robbery that took place in a house miles away from yours. The homeowner says they were not robbed, that their home is good, but the vigilante says no. That's what this argument shows.
I'll make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait.
Well,
Don't tell me the reasons are. Do women make less than men for doing the same thing?
No, because...
Wow.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
Listen, this is not a math is hard.
No. Yes, it is, actually.
No, right now, women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making.
But that's not true. If so, every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate.
When will this pay gap narrative be laid to rest? She's a reporter, right? Which man in the station does the same job as her but gets paid more? In her words, 33 cents over every dollar that women make.
At some point, somebody's truth has to win. Because guess what? Your truth doesn't matter. That's still a truth
You've
claim.
had your truth in this country for the past thousands of decades.
Thousands of decades?
Not thousands. Whatever. That's a little embarrassing. But like your truth has been the narrative of this country forever.
Has
and
it?
you think
Roe
yes,
versus
the
Wade
white
just
straight
got
male
repealed.
truth.
Abortion was legal in this country for 40 years.
And before the 40 years, what was? And crime dropped.
Thankfully illegal.
40% after it went. On top of that,
Oh wait, hold on. Do you think abortion lowers crime rates?
Crime dropped 40% after abortion became legal.
Why is that the case?
It's called a statistic.
Who has the most abortions in America?
Women.
Black people. Is that so? Are you trying to say the termination of blacks in the womb lower crime? That's a very racist argument.
That is not
okay. You know,
actually, I want to see if this statistic is.
I can't hear you. You gotta come on.
Okay, but there's a reason. There has to be.
Like. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm with you on everything.
Somebody get her a chair. She needs to take it all in.
Can you point me to any single country that has restricted freedom of speech that has done better?
I simply ask you for the source.
Okay.
Can you give me the source
Nazi
on that?
Germany, Soviet Russia, Castro, Che Guevara regimes, current UK, Canada, Maoist China. Need I go on?
Absolutely. You said every country.
Every single country that has limited freedom of speech has resulted in a net loss.
Please give me an actual citation to back up your claim.
You would say that Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China, Che Guevara, Castro regimes, and I can't go through every single country.
I'm just asking you to give me a scholarly source that says that.
I don't have a scholarly source with me right now saying that Nazi Germany is worse off with speech laws than the United States.
And so what I said
You're just going to take my word for it.
And exactly what I said was there are plenty of examples where it doesn't work. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that at all.
Can you point me to any example where it has?
Eventually can possibly get to the point where it can work. And we need to keep trying. That doesn't mean because it hasn't worked, we don't give up.
One country that has better net results for human freedom and human rights by restricting speech. What's your source? One.
Does he realize that freedom of speech is also a freedom of expression? He doesn't. He knows nothing.
It's really fucking laughable that it's only white people equating slavery to owning an abortion. Not once have I heard one black or woman of color.
Faith, do you want to come up here? Because apparently color matters.
I would like to hear from a woman of color. I would rather hear that.
Go ahead, Faith.
What's so funny?
Why are you pro-life, Faith?
I am pro-life because life begins in the womb at conception. And I think that our personhood, our rights should not be based on having to be human plus something else. That's exactly what happened with slavery, where we were told that you have to be human plus not black. And now we're saying that you have to be human plus a certain age, or human and in a different location. And so really what abortion is age-based discrimination.
Black people weren't seen as humans. They weren't seen as human beings. Black people were not seen as humans.
They were
the Supreme Court actually said that they were 3/5 a human person. Just like how you all have denied that a child in the womb is a human person.
No, it's not. It's not human.
That's fundamentally incorrect. What is it? What is a child in the womb? Is it a koala bear? When I get pregnant, am I pregnant with a koala bear? I'm pregnant with a member of our species.
A fetus of a dolphin looks the same as a fetus that's a human. You literally can't tell them apart because it's not human yet. It's not.
Does somebody else have a question?
I just want to note that as a black woman and as a person who got my degree in biology, life does begin at conception.
So you call for a person of color but still reject the idea you called for. Black people were not seen as humans? That's exactly the point. Unborn children are not being seen as humans either. Grow a brain.
Good evening, cowards. A bunch of fat, ugly women.
What? They're fat ugly women is what they are.
We're not having that.
You don't have to buy.
That ain't free speech.
It's called free speech. Buy.
That's not free speech. That's insulting.
And we wonder why children are retarded stupid today. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers, the children's mind. That's why you people don't have the brains to see that this could be hurting children of the future who are going to grow up and be just as dumb as you people.
Oh, badass grandpa for president, please. See how adults whine at words that they daily use against people of opposite beliefs. It's free speech then. It's free speech when they attack public speakers, but it's violence when they get called out. Anyway, I want to be as cool as you when I grow older, sir. Actually, I'd like to be that cool right now.
What brought you out here today?
July 4th.
You guys approached me, look like very excited to see me.
No.
Why'd you come over? I'm sorry?
You.
Oh, that's very tolerant and progressive.
Yeah.
You usually treat women you don't like that? Like you just disagree with?
Supporters like that.
Why? We're just humans.
Okay, well you guys are awful humans.
Why?
All the I'm lying. All your too.
Well, thank you for following me.
No, we don't follow you.
Oh, but you see everything that I tweet.
Yeah, because it's ignorant as
Yeah. Oh, so you guys are literally over here bragging about treating other women poorly.
No, we're treating Trump supporters poorly.
Why would you do that? I thought it was love for everybody. Everybody, equality.
You don't support love for everybody.
Yes, I do. I would love you.
No, you don't love me.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I don't love you.
All right, well, that sucks because I'm sure we could be friends or something.
I don't want to be friends with you.
Why? What do I support that's so wrong?
Trump. Guns.
Do you guys think that women should be able to protect themselves from
Of course I do.
Yes. Guns aren't necessary.
No.
Why? If my has a gun, shouldn't I have a gun?
Your shouldn't have a gun.
No one should have guns. I shouldn't be able to defend myself. Go ahead and defend yourself.
You can, yeah, with no guns.
What can I use? What can I use against a rapist or someone that wants to come and break into my home and murder me? What am I supposed to get?
A knife.
A knife. If they have a gun, because criminals don't follow laws, I'm just supposed to have a knife to protect me against a bullet?
Okay, well, if there was no guns, your wouldn't have a gun.
That's not how it works. Drugs are illegal.
Okay, and people still do drugs, so why? Like,
that's a good point. You just literally dissolved your own argument.
No, sis. No, sis.
Sis, there it is. Without fail, sis. All right, you guys really need to work on your manners, your tolerance.
You.
You. Me. You. 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 Oh yeah, so tolerant. All right, clown 2019.
Have these women been living under a rock? Do they really believe that passing a law equals mass obedience from everyone? Why are there crimes then? Every criminal has done something illegal, smarty pants.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement.
Pregnant Candace was just done with everyone, I tell you. If you know you're not confused, dance into the sunset with that knowledge. Deep down, you still crave affirmation from other people so badly. That's a sign of confusion, doubt, and uncertainty. Hope you feel better one day, sweetheart.
Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Bradford, in your testimony, did I understand you right? So did you want to end all plastic manufacturing?
I said the plastics industry must be stopped.
So does that mean end plastic manufacturing?
I mean, in my dream world, sure, but I think that, go ahead.
No, so I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out, what's going to replace your glasses? Like,
so I do
your
know.
Glasses around your face. They're made of plastic.
Maybe.
No,
I don't know what they're made out of.
They are. What about, and I just point out some things here because I just want to be realistic when we're having conversations. Because when statements are made like this, I just want to open people's eyes and say, well, what? Okay, that's easy to say, but what's the solution? Your water bottle in front of you.
This one.
Yes. That plastic?
No.
The lid is.
Right. So I would say to your question that I would first be concerned about single-use plastics, and then we can talk about alternatives to this.
Your cell phone there. Is it plastic?
The cases. but it's glass because I broke
the components inside of
screen
it's not
yesterday.
plastic? The components made out of it's not in plastic? Yeah, they are. The water that you filled that water bottle up with, where'd you fill that water bottle up out of?
A water filling station.
All right, and it was delivered by a drink station that was plastic?
I didn't check.
The edges are. The piping coming to it. Now, you have a couple of choices with the piping. We could go back to using wood, but then you have to line it in chemical. Or we could go back and use lead, because we used to have water piping that was lead. That was harmful to us. We go back to galvanized, but galvanized rust and had discoloration. We go back to copper, but copper has to be mined, and everybody wants to stop mining in the U.S. So you use plastic to deliver piping that you fill that water bottle up with today. I point this out because the clothes you have on, I guarantee have plastic in it. The shoes you have on your feet, the soles of those shoes are plastic. So we talk about any plastic manufacturing, and everybody in here cheers when you say that, but everybody here is depending on plastic as you set. So if you want to end it, then quit using it.
Rather than discussing with your imaginary friends what your dream world would look like, maybe start living it first. It's called not being an hypocrite.
But if they didn't commit the crime, they wouldn't have to deal with any of that.
Well, sometimes a lot of them don't commit the crimes.
No.
Which is interesting. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You were raised by your father and mother?
I was.
And so you had a better chance at life growing up because you had two parents who provided for you.
I did, yeah.
But isn't that the right and the best way to go rather than all this other stuff?
I don't necessarily agree. People can still be just as successful. I definitely do think I was more privileged to have both parents in the home.
So you're white privileged then?
Not necessarily.
You just like the white woman.
Not,
you had
not
everything.
at all. Not
What's
at
the difference?
all.
The white girl next to you had a father and mother in the private school, right? And she's white privileged. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So you're a black girl with a father and mother in the same classroom, sitting right next to the white girl with the privilege. So you had it too.
So what we mean when we say white privilege is not necessarily...
Wait, that was brilliant, because white privilege has extended beyond color and seeped into blaming people for the opportunities their parents were able to provide. Hence, does she not frolic in said privilege?
Are men and women equal? Women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, everything is brought to by women.
Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, the camera that's filming you right now, the microphone you're speaking to, everything is built, maintained through men.
Did men allow you to have that haircut?
Feminism stops whenever it's inconvenient for y'all. In Ukraine, you have all the wives getting shipped out to Moscow and all these other nations, and they're partying in clubs and getting railed by other guys while their husbands are forced to stay in the nation. You don't see any feminists saying, hey, no, the women should stay also.
It's like a white, cisgender, like straight appearing man.
Are you assuming my sexuality? That was very rude of you. I feel oppressed right now.
You should go.
He should go, but you are the one walking away. So many Wokies walk away from wisdom, it would seem. Anyway.
Hello, how are you?
Speak to me. I'm just here to listen.
I'm not allowed to speak to you?
Not at all. I'm just here to listen.
Okay, America's the greatest country ever to exist.
And so it's Wakanda.
But that's not a place.
They tried to make me into a Mexico. I'm here to observe and listen.
No, I'm just trying to get some free hot dogs.
This is not a joke, guys.
What's up?
Did they even come over here and make it a joke? It's not.
It's a joke to me because I'm not listening.
Where do you see free hot dogs at? Don't make it a joke.
You making it about me. I'm not there.
The left will eat.
Well, game recognizes game, and stupid sees stupid.
If you'd like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue.
Anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with it.
Just literally put the hand up and say I'm a woman. Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
Well, I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status,
I think
we're
that's
talking
what,
about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. How many genders are there?
2.
There are 2 genders. Wow, so you don't believe in transgenders at all?
And ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call the I just messed up eye bulge. Love, love, love this one.
What I'm saying is that gender
can be fluid and it does not affect other people. It does not affect other people's lives.
I literally just showed you an example where it affects other people, women who don't want to share those spaces. Now you're saying that those women's spaces should be defined by their biological sex at birth. Yes or no?
I don't know. What I'm saying.
So it literally affects other people.
What do you mean these insane ideologies do not affect anyone? There is a worldwide debate going on over it. There would be no privacy soon. Anyone can claim to be anything and we wouldn't have a say. Where did the women support women go? The early feminists would be turning in their grave right now.
You're really nice. But the cult got you.
The cult. You think people being told they can have a certain gender or a certain sexuality is a cult?
People thinking you can pretend to be something you're not and the whole world's going to go along with it, including the people, yes, it affects, is a cult. And you, like, I feel for you because you're stuck in the cult.
It means what? If a man wants to identify as a woman, he's allowed to. That's what I mean. Gender, like.
So what's a woman then?
It's someone who feels like they want to be a woman.
But a woman is not just a feeling.
Why does it need to have a cookie cutter definition?
Because if we're going to be sterilizing kids, we should be able to define what this term even means.
Can you see the history books now? What is a woman? The question that never got an answer. Ridiculous, but true.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement.
Aw, she looks like she didn't get the fight she was looking for. No one cares about your identity, lady. Be whatever you want.
Do you think men fans models should make the same as female?
Yeah. Like.
So you'd be willing to take a pay cut?
What do you mean by that?
They take it out of your pocket.
Well, because men, when it comes to online presenting yourself, earn fractional what women earn.
It's up to you how much money you earn by how much you are posting on your...
So it's about merit, creativity, ingenuity.
It's about like consistency kind of thing, like, and trying to find the right niche and everything for yourself.
So therefore, if there was a law generally in America where it says that women should be paid the same as men, you'd be against that?
Well...
Because it would apply to fans. Because it could harm you. See, you're both in an industry where women earn way more than men.
Yeah.
Progress is easy to support until it hits your bank account.
So it's about creativity, consistency, and merit when it is OnlyFans, but when it comes to white-collar jobs, it is about who wears skirts. Be serious.
So at what point is it not a parasite and then it turns into a baby?
I guess, like I said, that kind of varies for every person.
Well, for you, what is it for you?
I really don't know.
You won't say when a baby becomes a baby and stops being a parasite in your own words?
I guess you'd have to prove a certain level of consciousness, maybe, I don't know.
A heartbeat?
Things can be alive without a heartbeat, but also it doesn't just have to do with life, so don't take that out of there. But I don't know.
Isn't that just sad? Ma'am, put the sign down and go sit in a library for 5 minutes. You are embarrassing yourself.
All right, so why are you here? Why does this mean so much to you?
Because I believe in everyone's right to choose their own.
Even, how about the child?
If the child can't survive on its own outside of the womb, then the health of the mother takes precedent, because if the mother doesn't survive, then neither does the fetus.
So I found it interesting, you said if it can't survive. So what if I were in a coma? Would you just say kill me?
No, actually I'm an ICU nurse and I can talk a lot about how I could keep you alive in a coma.
Okay, but you're alive in the womb as well, so what's the difference?
The difference is if you were taken out of the womb before 23 weeks of gestation, you cannot survive.
Okay, but you also can't survive if you're in a coma. If you're on life support, you need life support to stay alive.
Yeah.
It's hilarious how this woman actually works in healthcare. Don't they take oaths anymore? A lot of aged people basically cannot survive on their own. Are nursing homes going to become abortion clinics for the elderly? Do we just eradicate every weak person?
accept a different victim.
That's sexist and racist.
No, it's speciesist because you're oppressing.
That's a made-up word, also.
No, it isn't. You can look it up for yourself. You're a speciesist, which means you're no morally different to a racist or a sexist.
I have to go.
Why do you keep calling me lady? It's a bit condescending.
It's a bit condescending.
Condescending.
What's your pronouns? She, her, right?
Yeah, but you just keep saying look lady as if I'm some weirdo.
Yeah, you are actually
I am?
weirdo, mate.
Did she say speciesist? Wow, throwing out big words and she probably doesn't know what the word woman means.
Hold on, don't shout at me. You came voluntarily. Did I ask you to come? I'm defending fascism. No, I'm exposing you as a fascist.
How am I a fascist with people who are hurtful and raped, and there's rapists who are still on the campaign?
But see, the problem is, sometimes you get speakers like me who are not scared of people like you. Ultimately, you are afraid of ideas. You think I pose a threat to you? I'm an immigrant. I came to America with nothing. What threat do I pose to you?
You promoted dangerous, violent ideas that killed millions of people.
I propose dangerous, violent ideas to kill people? Who have I killed?
And you look like capitalism.
Do you realize that Hitler's deadly opponent was capitalism, the fascist ideology?
We are all a bunch of people who go about removing people from Earth because of words. Words.
So I grew up, right, not particularly liking the LGBT community, and in the past several years I have turned to believe that I really like the LGBT community today, and I was gonna ask you about a specific person in that community, Ms. Blair White.
Haven't thought about Blair White in a while, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was on the new Jubilee debate.
Wait, is it a biological woman who thinks they're man? I can't remember.
She's a trans woman.
Okay, so a fake woman.
So...
No, I'm just trying, I'm not even sarcastic. I
Right.
don't, so it's a man who masquerades as a woman.
Masquerading as a woman? That... If you were... I mean, there was a debate she had with, Ben Shapiro. If you were to refer to her at a restaurant or whatever, you would refer to her as a woman, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could pretend to be black. You could put blackface on. That doesn't make you black. But I'm just wondering, I don't know much about Blair White. So it's a man who wears the costume of a woman? Is that right?
I mean, if you believe that value system, then I guess you could
then
say
let me ask you, what is a woman?
I watched the movie, and it's a person who needs a man to open their pickle jar.
Oh. So you.
I do open my girlfriend's pickle jar.
I can't hear what you said.
I do open my girlfriend's pickle jars for her.
Oh, that was a sizzling burn. And why does it take the youngster so long to speak? Get it out already.
Hello, my name is Quentin Merritt. I'm a mathematician and a physicist here, a double major, and I also just won the most prestigious award in the country to pursue research at any institution I want, the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship. So I think I'm pretty, qualified to say that most of what you're saying is based on, old data. But my question to you, and so I want you all to, realize that.
Last month, but sure.
For example, gender identity disorder, that's the DSM-4, bro. We use the DSM-5 now for psychologists to be able to talk about...
I literally cited the DSM-5 in the speech, and it's called gender dysphoria, which is a term that I use throughout the speech, not gender identity disorder.
You sound like a bozo, bro. And you get no pussy, and you can't even make your wife wet, bro, so what's good?
So, let me just say, the nice thing about having several small children is I don't feel the necessity to have my masculinity
challenged by someone like you. If we're using a Western colonial idea of gender, then why should it apply? If we're using, because the gender binary is a Western colonialist framework of gender.
You're right. Men and women don't exist in any other culture.
No. Think about Native American.
Nailed it.
Third gender people. I'm not saying that. Third gender people exist in Native American societies, Western African societies, like Southern Native American societies, like Mexico. So in other places that are not white dominated, like the United States or Europe. And so you're saying white, so non-white people. I'm a mathematician and a physicist. You cannot tell me.
So I have a question.
And also, you're not a biologist.
So I have a question.
I'm 20.
As a mathematician and a physicist, what in the hell do you know about human biology?
And you got your law degree from Harvard. What do you know about biology? You got your law degree from Harvard.
And frankly, I would ask another question. If your logic is so flawed, as a mathematician and a physicist, I would suggest that whichever institution gave you an award, revoke it immediately.
The mic should have been taken from the second he started rambling about maths and physics. No concrete argument, just a rainbow child throwing tantrums. You are not a mathematician nor a physicist, Quentin. You are a student, an embarrassingly dumb one, but a student nonetheless.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're bending down. Are you sure you aren't going to break a hip?
No, my hips are actually in better shape than your hips.
You want to tell me why that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I exercise and you don't.
Who are you calling?
Look me up. Stop.
Who are you calling?
I just made a comment on my way, so I went.
It's always a blue-haired teenager. She's definitely calling her liberal mom, so they can exercise their right of calling the police over dumb issues. The charges will include fatphobia and discrimination. I'd like to assume, when you play stupid games, receive your stupid prices appropriately. You insulted your teacher and she insulted you. It was age shaking versus fat shaming. You are not a victim, maybe a loser, but not a victim.
To you, what would you change about the Constitution, if anything?
And that is my note answering this question.
Have a good one.
That's perfect for Dave here. We'll let Dave go.
No, I'm not. I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question?
This is another favorite, the walk of shame. It's a loaded question, yet you have no problem being force-fed propaganda as answers. One word for you, oh leaders of tomorrow, do some research.
Did you miss your makeup appointment?
You've been in there for 2 hours. I'd say it's made no difference.
Well, if you can't take it, don't give it. Let's add that to the list of reactions I love. The wide, I can't believe I just got cooked mouth.
What's a woman then?
It's someone who feels like they want to be a woman.
But a woman is not just a feeling.
Why does it need to have a cookie cutter definition?
Because if we're going to be sterilizing kids, we should be able to define what this term even means.
You mentioned how but then they want to have a family and they can't. First of all, not everyone wants to have a family, and there's other ways to have families. There's, surrogates, there's adoption, all that kind of stuff. It's not about whether they can physically have a child on their own. That doesn't account for all families.
What you're doing right now is trying to justify the sterilization of children.
I'm not. I'm asking you a question about...
Sure you are. You're downplaying it. You're saying it's not...
She says she would have loved to transition as a little girl, but she can't transfer right now because it's not the biggest thing. Maybe it's not a thing at all. If it was so dire, you would have done it already. My opinion.
In the book, instructs youth on how to find and make pornography. There's photos of naked individuals that are trans. Should students have access to a book like that?
When I was a young man, which was many, many years ago, we had Playboy. We learned it through Playboy. How is this different?
Did you have it in school?
No, we did not have it in school, but
that would be how it's different.
Oh, we should judge a book by its cover, but this cover looks like a minor attracted person's manual. The P-word aesthetic? The Playboy you stole from the irresponsible males in your life is not the same as the visual pornography available in libraries. If you read books instead of Playboy, you would know that, sir.
Jamaica.
What are your pronouns?
What are my pronouns? What do you mean by pronouns?
Pronouns like he, her, him, she, them, that.
Female, as you can see.
I think you're a female too.
Okay.
And are you married to a man or to a woman?
Oh, God almighty. A man, of course. I know my gender.
I'm also a female, by the way.
No.
I'm a beautiful girl like you.
Take care.
No one can tell me I'm not a beautiful woman like you.
Let me drop this and let me see.
Don't you just love African aunties? Truth from the straightest face. You're a woman, prove it. Actually, don't bother. If you have to convince a panel, we know you're a phony.
What is a woman?
Honestly, I believe that if you do feel like you are a woman, you have every right to, if you truly feel that you are a woman and you want to express yourself as a woman, you can do that.
I want to show you a video of the British women's deadlift and bench records being broken.
Awesome. Okay. Holy shit.
This is the person who broke those records.
Okay, of women's deadlift?
Of women's deadlifts.
Okay.
His name is Zuby.
Okay.
He was a woman for 5 minutes.
What does that mean, he was a woman for 5 minutes?
He identified as a woman for 5 minutes.
During the competition?
Exactly.
When he identified as a woman?
Correct.
But he does it now?
Correct.
And he did it before?
Correct.
That's very interesting. Do they were there qualifications to show that he was a woman, or
It's just a feeling.
Okay, you see how you can't believe it when you are finally faced with reality. It's easy for you to call womanhood a feeling when all you do is sit on your couch liking tweets and commenting on TikToks. But there is a whole world of women being threatened daily by the men you egg on. Men, not women.
Do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based diet.
Do you eat avocados?
Asking the government.
Do you eat avocados? Yes?
A leading study from...
Do you? It's an interview. You don't just answer different questions. Do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based diet, which
Do you eat avocados?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Great. Do you know how avocados and almonds get made?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
So you realise that in California, every year, for 6 weeks, they fly in billions of bees to create your almonds and avocados, and in that process, several billion bees get murdered. This is a bee. Right? Why are you laughing? It's not funny.
I'd like to respond.
Bees getting slaughtered and you giggling away like it doesn't matter, whilst destroying buildings because you care so much about animals. You don't care about the little guys.
No, they just don't want to see steak. The hypocrites don't care about anything else. Not about the control measures that go into ensuring proper harvesting of plants. No, it is all just a big fight against steak.
What do you think about white men?
I think it's just the term white man, just immediate turn off.
What do you think of black men?
Love.
Do you think it's racist to, by default, not like white men?
I mean, I don't think so, because...
Cue in the crickets, everybody. Is there a virus in hair dyes and ridiculously colored wigs? There is a statistic that could be drawn there, and it would not be pretty.
Can a man get pregnant?
I think, well, they can in this day and age with well, sort of new sciences, the fertilization. Yeah, I mean, I think you see on the internet nowadays, you see more men with artificial style pregnancies. Yeah.
So when you say defertilization?
I said artificial.
Artificial fertilization.
Yeah.
So so as men, I presume you're a man.
I am.
We don't have uteruses, no?
No.
So we can't get pregnant?
No.
The video would not be complete without the famous Gordon Ramsay meme. What is he yapping about? Just walk them in a circle and watch them completely falter.
Did spring up in, as a little girl?
Well, I did assign binary pronouns to Hazel initially, yes. And then when they were older, they articulated a preference for using they, them pronouns.
Right, just so I get my head around all this, it's obviously very complicated. Not to you, but it's complicated to me. So let me try and just lay this out. Explain your domestic setup. You're married, is that right?
Yes, I'm in a multi-adult family. There's 3 of us that are raising 2 children, an 8-year-old and my 1-year-old.
And how would you describe yourself? You were born biologically male, or how would you describe
I'm non-binary. Yeah, I'm non-binary, which means that I don't identify as a man or a woman, and I use they, them pronouns.
Okay, and your wife or partner, is it a wife? How would you describe your other half?
Well, all of the adults in my household identify as transgender or non-binary.
Right, and you're only married to one, or you're married to both?
Legally married to one.
Right.
In a relationship with another.
So the one you're legally married to, what is their name?
Bren.
Bren. And Bren identifies as?
A woman. Uses she, her.
And she was born a woman and remains identifying as a woman?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a woman.
Okay, and who's the third member of the setup?
My partner, Luna, who uses they, them pronouns as well.
And Luna is male or female? Or?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. And, okay, but you're not married to Luna?
No.
Okay, and you have 2 children in the house?
Yes.
Okay, and just to clarify again, Sparrow, we don't know whether Sparrow was born male or female because you haven't said that, but Sparrow is now non-binary?
No, Sparrow is, I would say, antigender, which is a term, that means...
Imagine going into a coma in 2000 and waking up in 2024. Would you not rather go back to sleep than navigate this insanity? Those poor children. Those poor, poor children.
Is black only spaces, yes or no?
There are fine with spaces where there should be a flip.
Let him finish.
It's bad if it's forced. Just a yes or no. Bad if it's forced.
So whites are not allowed in the black spaces.
What? See, here, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Forced.
Let me ask you a question. Say for instance, there's a club. There's a club that is aimed towards these people. And also, I've never been a part of one of these clubs where they've excluded anyone. You turned off the camera. Anyway, so there are
cameras still on.
Yeah, well, it's not this. Anyway, it's okay for these spaces to exist as a safe space. It's okay for these spaces to exist. Hey.
So just make sure we're clear. So when the South had white-only restrooms, that was fine.
No, it wasn't.
If you don't have an idea, how about you calm down? It was bad then, but it's somehow good now. First it's black-only dormitories, then it's back to black-only restrooms. Rather than being scared of being labeled a racist, strive for unity. Students get dumber the more education they receive. I tell you, it's sad.
I'm wondering what your stance are on abortion and how you respond to the Thompson violinist case.
The second part, I'm sorry?
The Thompson violinist case, I've
heard it. I mean, happy to go through it again. But yes, under the hypothetical that will never happen, I'm happy to.
That's what thought experiments are for.
Right. I mean, but I don't need a thought experiment when it comes to abortion. But you want to tell people what the violinist abstraction is?
I'd be happy to. So tomorrow morning, as will probably happen, you're going to wake up in your hotel room. I'm going to be right next to you in bed, and you're going to be hooked up to me. My blood is going to be going into your kidneys and then back into my body, and that's going to be necessary for me to survive. If you unplug me, I die.
For how long?
For 9 months.
Okay.
9
so
years.
Again, to play this out, again, how did it happen though?
Oh, it was against their will.
Oh, really? So rape?
Sure.
Okay, so that's only less than 1% of all abortions. So the thought experiment doesn't apply to the other 99% of abortions where it's consensual sex. Do you agree?
Okay.
So the thought experiment is on the fringe of any applicability, but under that thought experiment and that abstraction, yes, to be consistent, to save a life, I personally would give part of my kidney to save somebody's life for 9 months. Yes.
You couldn't leave the bed for 9 months.
Well, pregnant women are not bedridden.
Some are.
Very rarely. So I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, if you go into preterm labor around like 25 or 26 weeks, maybe with like magnesium treatment, you go to bed rest for 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, sure.
Are you familiar with that?
It's not a perfect analogy, but
it's not a good analogy at all. But
it's a pretty good one.
So let me ask you a question. When does life begin?
Why is that? That's impossible to define. It's impossible to define. I think so. Life is very abstract.
Are you alive?
I'd like to think so.
Okay, are the people around you alive?
We live in a world where people believe that life is abstract and they aren't even sure if they are alive. These people are college students, not some middle schooler who scrolled too much on YouTube and lost their common sense.
We can go all the way to idealism. Like, what if you can't know anything for sure? Okay. Can I ask you this?
You're way overthinking it. Let me be honest.
Maybe I am.
I think so.
Do you think if somebody, not you, hooked themselves up to someone in bed, said they were going to commit to the 9 months, do you think they had the ability to?
People do that all the time. It's called being a kidney donor.
It's so different.
Millions of people give away kidneys, livers, all the time for people that need it. Strangers, in fact.
Do you think they're morally obligated to do so?
Let me give you another example. If you're stranded on an island, and one of your organs that you personally do not need to survive could help that other person on the island you're with, 2 people on an island, you are morally obligated to give one of those organs to that person so that they could survive. Otherwise, it would be at least manslaughter, at worst murder. Yes.
Okay, well, I think it's just a difference of opinion at that point. I think you'd be a very, very good person to do so. Maybe even just
okay, so we agree. So there's a morality. So we have now built a good in sacrificing something you might not need but can inconvenience you to help somebody else. So therefore, is the inverse bad?
And nailed him.
You hate women, you understand?
Hey guys.
You have no respect for women. That's why you're here arguing right now.
You respect
he doesn't.
Andrew, Mother's Day. How do you like that? You murdered your kid. Happy Mother's Day, murderer. And the woman next to you, she agrees with me. How does that make you feel? How does that make the entire CCP feel that you're down here getting impregnated, murdering your offspring? How does that make you feel, ladies? Does that make you feel good?
Well, well, well. This look is what I would call the downward dog of shame. I really like this one. Let's rank it a solid 6 out of 10.
I know, you're so oppressed, my dears. I know, life is so hard for you. You have to live in the richest, most equitable...
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then like...
Okay. How am I... Sorry. Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
Dude, like you...
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that, like... You are...
Well, yeah. Oh, cuss word indeed. After the lost but found Wokie look, my second favorite is the frustrated. I can't believe my parents are paying tuition only for me to look stupid on YouTube hair toss. It's refreshing.
Yeah, Derek Bells. So what he wrote in 1991, Intro to Critical Race Theory. What's in that book?
The whole book is your definition. Wait, but...
Are you familiar with that literature?
Well, yeah, I've read the book, but I don't remember anything about it. It was for, like, a college class. Like, let's be honest, nobody remembers the books they read in college.
Sounds like a great value proposition to go to college.
Nah, it is, trust me. Well, but you didn't go to college, so I guess you wouldn't know.
It's true, I didn't.
So
let me ask you, though, does that mean that I'm not able to have this conversation with you? Because I actually remember the book and you didn't, and you paid for it.
So, first of all, I didn't pay for it. There's these things called scholarships.
Oh, so somebody else paid for you not to remember the book that you were supposed to read. Oh, anyways. Some wealthy donor or taxpayer paid for you to not remember the book.
Shall we also include the dumb rambling of college students trying to one-up a more intelligent individual? You're studying off someone's hard-earned money. You don't remember the things you study yet. You're trying to debate it, but you think that's a flex. There must be something in the college atmosphere that makes people just breathe in foolishness instead of oxygen.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. I like her, and I'm a Democrat.
And why do you like her?
Because she will be a good female president, and I would love to have a good female president for the U.S.
And what do you think she'll do good for our country?
She'll actually help our country more than Donald Trump would do, because she is smart and she's more reliable.
And what do you think are some exact things she'd do?
She'll do lower income and lower taxes.
So she'd lower everyone's income?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
That is a good thing.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is the worst president in the whole wide world.
How come?
Because he hurt the Capitol building and he started World War III.
There are zero ideas flowing in that mind. Lower income, World War III. Somebody has been catching up on Twitter politics. He's the worst president in the whole wide world. I'm not gonna point fingers, but at least he knows how to walk.
We're in the lowest time of poverty in human history, and poverty is exponentially reducing every year. Trust me, we're in a very good time.
This is really interesting coming from a straight white man.
Well, okay, yes.
Like, everything's always been good for you. I'm a minority.
Yeah.
Nothing's good for me.
I'm Palestinian. I'm Arab.
No one jumps into assumptions and conclusions more than the ones who victimize those terms. I love the open mouth, by the way. Maybe some logic would fly in.
My choice! 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 My choice!
Would you allow somebody like Anthony Joshua to box in women's boxing in a year's time if he had the treatment?
There's a weight category issue. I'm not sure about the weight categories. He'd be a lot bigger than any woman, but if he was in a woman's size weight category, yes, I would.
You would let Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, you would let him in a year's time compete at the same weight against women?
Yeah, if there's a weight category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry.
It's absolute
How
garbage.
could you possibly countenance putting Floyd Mayweather, the most dangerous boxer pound for pound, arguably in the history of boxing, into a ring with women born to female bodies? This is where the argument becomes utterly ridiculous. And it's not transphobic to say so, it's common sense.
There's a fighter called Fallon Fox in the mixed martial arts world who is a big individual, got into a fight, round one, broke somebody's skull.
That was in 2014. Can you have something more recent?
I think the plan is to murder and eradicate half of the female population in America before 2030 because they cannot be serious.
So I always have to ask the question at the end. I mean, everyone knows what the question is going to be. But so what is a woman? Can you define the term?
think the answer to what is a woman is a person who aligns with feminine traits that we traditionally associate with females, or that people that align with the feminine side of the spectrum. So that's my answer. And I think that answer should, the definition of everything changes over time. And as we continue to learn more about what humans can really be, I think that can continue to grow. And
You hope we understand. You don't look like you understand. You swallowed so hard when the question came up.
The chair, Madam Speaker, when is a life a life? I'll open it up to the rest of my colleagues over there. I would wager none of my colleagues on the other side will tell us when life begins. I got a $20 bill here. It's not worth as much as it used to be worth. I'll put it down here on the table. Any one of you or your colleagues wants to speak up and tell us when life begins, it's sitting here for you. Madam Speaker, when is a life a life? When does it begin? That's the most extreme idea to come out of this body, that you won't acknowledge when a life is a life.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Has it expired? I'll leave the $20
Members,
bill here, Madam
the gentleman's
Speaker.
time has expired.
The infamous silence followed by repeating the same nonsense over the smarter person. Such a rare combination. That's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Can you describe your dream man? Is he
Ryan Gosling.
is he tall?
Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds.
I'm glad you said that.
Gerard Butler.
I'm glad you said that. He's taller than you, correct?
Yeah.
Stronger than me. He could probably beat you up in a fight, right?
I want him to be able to bench press me.
Okay, so he's stronger than you, he's taller than you. Does he earn more money?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and y'all think y'all are equal.
So, but there.
Oh, I like the "Am I the problem?" blinks too. Very nice. What makes you equal to a man who is superior to you in every aspect? At least they seem to see the flaw in their logic.
So, my question was about abortion, and I just wanted to know, why exactly do you think a first trimester fetus has moral value?
Okay, so a first trimester fetus has moral value because whether you consider it a potential human life or a full-on human life, it has more value than just a cluster of cells. If left to its natural processes, it will grow into a baby. So the real question is, where do you draw the line? So you're gonna draw the line at the heartbeat, because it's very hard to draw the line at the heartbeat. There are people who are adults who are alive because of a pacemaker. They need some sort of outside force generating their heartbeat. Okay, are you gonna do it based on brain function? Okay, well, what about people who are in a coma? Should we just kill them? Right, the problem is anytime you draw any line other than the inception of the child, you end up drawing a false line that can also be applied to people who are adults. So either human life has intrinsic value or it doesn't. I think we both agree that adult human life has intrinsic value. Can we start from that premise?
I believe that sentience is what gives something moral value, not necessarily being a human alone.
Okay, because when you're asleep, can I stab you?
I'm still considered sentient when I'm asleep.
Okay, if you are in a coma from which you may awake, can I stab you?
Well then, no. I guess not. I mean,
I'm glad you answered that because I have no interest in actually murdering you.
But that's still potential sentience, and it's still a potential.
I agree. It is potential sentience. You know what else is potential sentience? Being a fetus.
Doesn't matter how much you twist it, the truth will always prevail. Okay, let's wrap this up. You've been through enough today. In case you didn't like the video in the beginning, what are you waiting for? Get on that now. How would you have humbled some of these Wokies? Let us know in the comments. You don't want to be a Wokie, do you? You need to subscribe else. See you in the next video.